Hello everyone, welcome back to the second tutorial of LangChain Mastery series. So in the last video, what we have seen all the syllabus that we are going to work upon. Okay, now it's time to build a first chat model. What is a chat model that comes in our mind? So chat model is something like if you go to ChatGPT, DeepSeek or any other platform and you go users type some kind of a prompt, and on the basis of that the intent resolve and we are getting response from the AI. That is called a chat model. Okay, so it means that we will be building a chat model on which we will be asking any question and the AI will be response like a chat GPT. Correct? So to build the chat model, there is certain kind of prerequisite that we need to install in our system. First, Python, because Python is our programming language. So on the basis of that, we will be developing entire ecosystem. Second is a virtual environment. Why virtual environment? So guys, virtual environment is very important. Why? Because let's say that you are working with the two different projects and both the project is having a different kind of a LangChain version, because you need to install a lot of Python packages to do that. Maybe that both project having a different Python package. So in that condition, it will conflict with each other, because in your system, there is only one Python package will be installed corresponding to your Python download. So in that scenario, we have an option to create a virtual environment. Okay, and once we are done with the virtual environment, then we install all the packages which is required for building a chat model, and then finally we will set and then we'll jump into creating a chat model. And there's one more thing guys, that there's a two modes of working. First is like learning mode and second is a project mode. Okay, so in the learning mode we will be using the Jupyter notebook, so that you will be understand that how step by step code works and understand the importance of each step. But once the learning mode will be over, we will be landing into the project mode, and in the project mode we will be using the editor like Python, Visual Studio, Sublime, any editor, whatever you like, and then we'll be working on that environment. So let's jump and first let's install the prerequisite, and then we'll going to create a chat model. So let me jump to my screen. So I have a habit of creating a folder guys, so that all the necessary things should be in that. So let's say LangChain series. Here you can say this is called, you can say header, or usually it's known as a breadcrumb. Okay, and let's say if I write a CMD, so it will open a CMD on the same path that I have folder created. Now what I will do, I will just check the Python version. I can see the Python is already installed in my system. Second, we would love to install our second prerequisite, that is called virtual environment. So Python -m venv and env. So guys, understand this command guys. So Python is something called alias, and -m is something explicitly, and venv is our module, and env is a custom name. You can write your name instead of env. So your virtual environment name is env. Once you press enter, it will take some time and then virtual environment will be created. See, the virtual environment is now created. Now to know how I got to know the virtual environment is created, simply I will use a dir command and I can see this is env folder is there. Okay, and now the question comes, then how we can activate the virtual environment, and once after installing the like I have activate the virtual environment, then we can install all the packages which is required, and once we are done with our coding, we will deactivate the virtual environment or simply close the window. So how to activate the virtual environment? env/scripts/activate.bat. So this is guys how we have installed the Python as well as the virtual environment. Now since we are learning mode, and as I told you that we will be learning on the Jupyter notebook, so we will be installing the Jupyter notebook. And what is the command? Python -m pip install Jupyter notebook. So this is a command to install any Python package in Python. So it will take some time to install the packages. So now you can see that this is installed I will just clear the window. Okay, so my Jupyter notebook is successfully installed in my system. So now I will tell you command how to launch the Jupyter notebook. Very simple, Python -m notebook. That's it. And once it will run, it will automatically open on your Chrome browser. Yeah. So basically guys, the Jupyter notebook has been launched successfully. We have installed all the prerequisites which is required for LangChain mastery series, creating a chat model. Now here you can see, if I little zoom and see, this is a new drop down. Okay, so when you click on the drop down guys, you will be having a few options. Let me show you once again. This is a few options: Python 3, terminal, console, and new file, new folder. So we will be choosing the Python 3 because we have to code something related to Python. Yeah. So I just open here. You can see when you click on the Python 3, it will look like here. And when it is untitled. So according to the naming convention, this is my way of working. That this is the first learning. So this is 01, and what is the topic? That is called chat model. Done guys. You can see just like old school, we have like a notebook in their school days. So here we have also a notebook. Okay, so whenever if you wanted to write a code, even single line of a code, multiple line of a code, or many lines of a code, and then if you wanted to execute that, execute. Okay, so let's start creating a chat model. Okay, so now before jumping to creating a chat model guys, okay, so we have to provide the provider. Okay, and now you will think, what is provider? Simply, so I will tell you a good example of. So basically what happens guys, these days LangChain, LangGraph, and Chain AI, LLM model, these terms are very fantastic and game changer for every company. Okay, so what happens? So basically like OpenAI, ChatGPT, who invented OpenAI? When we think of Google, okay, Gemini, think about China, DeepSeek. So these are the companies, these are the provider who provide the LLM model. Apart from direct provider, we have a third party provider like Groq, OpenRouter, Light LLM. Okay, so these are the third party provider. Now it comes in a question, what is means by first party and a third party. So I will give a good example that, so let's say if you have a subscription to Hotstar and Netflix. Okay, so in Hotstar you purchase subscription from Hotstar, that is a direct provider. And if you have a SIM of Airtel and then you have a subscription of Hotstar and Netflix, it means Airtel is a third party provider who is providing multiple platforms. So hence, what is the advantage of using a direct provider or like a third party provider? You will be getting all the LLM model which are direct provider access. Okay, so it means if you access a third party provider, you can access of OpenAI, Gemini, DeepSeek, or any other direct provider. Okay, so similarly we will be using here one third party provider. Instead you can use the direct party provider also, direct OpenAI, direct Gemini, direct DeepSeek, but I will be showing how to switch to different models, and so I will be using a Groq. Okay, so before jumping to chat model, we need 4 steps of development. First, choose your provider. So according to your provider, all the header files, whatever the header files you will be including in the code, it depends upon the provider. Second, once you adopt the provider, you have to choose the model. Okay, model LLaMA 3, DeepSeek, many models are there, GPT-5, GPT-5 mini, GPT-4o. Okay, so it depends upon who is the provider, and then inside the provider, what are the models that they have access. And once we choose the model, then we initialize the model. Okay, and after the initialize, all set, the fourth step is invoking our prompt. So whatever the prompt we will be giving, you will be getting those answers. So let's jump to the chat Groq and quickly grab the API key. And now the question comes, what is the API key? So API key is something which on the behalf of that, it will give the permission to execute those models, just like a credit card. So on the basis of credit card or debit card, you just swipe the debit card and then your transaction has happened according to your bank. Similarly, API key, with the help of API key, you will be able to access that model. So let's jump to chat Groq API key. So here is the first link, guys. You can see this is the first link, API key chat Groq. Okay, and if I click on this, you can see in the right side we have a API key term, and when we click on the API key, what will happen? You have a create API key. So basically what you have to do, you have to write a particular name. Let's say LangChain YouTube series. Okay. And once you enter any name, whatever the name that you will be required, okay, then it will generate the API key. You can see here. And what you need to do, you have to just save the API key to your notepad, because as soon as possible you will close this button, the API key will not be visible. So I will just save, and then I will go to the browser and cross. I can see I have generated LangChain YouTube video series, but I won't be able to see any of the keys. Okay. Now I will be jumping back to the code, guys. Chat model. Okay, so the API keys will be created. Okay, so let me. Okay, so I just fit so that you will be able to see that all different codes. So now the first step, since we have chosen the provider, so we have to import the header which is required. So from LangChain underscore Groq import chat Groq. Okay, now we'll run this code. And since we haven't installed the LangChain, which is required packages, so I just wanted to show you error, guys, because sometimes we won't able to install the package and we jump to the coding. So that's why I wanted to show, if I run this, I will be getting an error that no module LangChain. Okay, so how, whenever you getting these kind of terms like no module LangChain or something or any other module, what you have to do, you have to simply pip install, simply use the pip command and just control enter or just run that cell. This is a star, guys. Remember, if there is a one star is there, so it means the terminal is running. So you have to wait for some time till it converted into any number. So once you get the number, it means it is successfully executed. So now you can see that it is successfully executed. Now if I run again this line, I am not able to see any kind of error. It is automatically run. Now I don't require this line, so I will use the scissor button to cross. So first line is done, guys, that is header. Now the second line is basically you initialize the model. How? I will take a variable and chat Groq, and this will contain 3 parameters. First, model name. So now we think that how this model name came. So I will tell you, guys, if you go to the API key back, and you will be finding here, let me bigger size. So you will be finding docs, okay, and when you click on the docs, you will be getting the models here, and in this model you will be getting all the models that I have entered here. So you don't have to learn those models, you have to simply use those models. You can just copy the model name and use in the chat model. So now, guys, we have used LLaMA 808192. The second is temperature. So temperature is basically the tone of the model. So we are just setting the temperature 0, and then Groq API key, and whatever the API key in the notepad, we have to paste those keys. Okay, and simply I will run this, the second one, that initializing the LLM model. Okay, and now we have to just invoke the model to get any prompt and get the result from the AI. LLM dot invoke, and let's say if I ask who is PM of India, and I will print what the variable res dot content, and if I enter, I can see, as of my knowledge, cut off, the current Prime Minister of India is Narendra Damodar Modi. He has been Prime Minister of India since May 26, 2014, and was re-elected in the 2019, and few other information are there. So this is how guys you will be hitting the chat model. So if you asking the same question from the chat GPT, you will be getting the answer same as here. Okay, so it means we have successfully created our chat model and we are asking any prompt and we will getting the answer. So this is our project, or you can say this is our tutorial or learning in this series, in this video. Okay, and now in the later videos we'll be step by step moving more step closer to creating a bigger agent or bigger you can say chatbot. So hope you like this video. If you have any problem or anything, just put your screenshot in the comment section so that we will be getting reply. Also, we will be uploading all the codes on the GitHub. So we will be giving a link so that if you click on the link, you will be getting all those codes. And please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.